Hey, what's up, guys? It's Steven, back and able to record in Gears Tactics. This game is a lot of fun, but has several achievements that could be a pain in the ass, including but not limited to the Path of the Righteous Man, which is the achievement I'll be getting in this video. The requirement is to finish a level without any of your units dying or going down, and I ended up getting this in Act 1 Level 2, so I'm going to walk you through it. The strategy I use attempts to keep everybody together when the waves shift. I put Diaz in the middle with his Lancer, and send Sid around to the left to cover and flank if I'm able to. I'm just going to refer to my units by the gun they're using from now on. I think it'll make things easier. That being said, the Mulcher and the Gnasher go to the right, so we're covered on all fronts. The enemy shifts their main body to the right and takes a pot shot at my Gnasher. From here, I think about how to attack because they've left a grunt out in the open. Using my middle Lancer, I kill the grunt to the far left, though I'm not a fan of the 65% hit chance and 3 shots to down. But it worked out. Now with the left under control, I bring my Retro to the middle and burn some shots for a partial hit. Next up, I bring my Mulcher front and center to do some damage, but he's just gonna completely miss with 75% chance at 10 feet away. He redeems himself with the next shot, I guess, so I can down the grub with my Gnasher. Is it grub? Grunt? I don't know if I'll be able to settle on one. Anyway, during the next turn, one grub is moved to the far right and in total view of my Gnasher unit. I move my Lancer unit in position to fire on him and switch to the snub pistol for better accuracy. I do hit him, but then I realize I only have 1 AP left, so I move him back to his original cover. Next, my Retro Lancer also has a line on the grub, so I once again switch to my grub pistol and nail him with only a 48% chance. With his 2 AP left, I move him over to the left and begin to flank and nab that chest. At this moment, I can't do much with my Mulcher unit, so I burn his shots and then reload for the next turn. There are currently 3 grubs down on the battlefield, so I use my Gnasher to execute the one on the far right. I didn't think about it beforehand, but thankfully I had enough AP to get back into cover. I reload, take some pot shots, and then set up coverage with the rest of my AP. This allows me to fire on the grub next turn and do enough damage to interrupt him. One grub tries to move to get a shot on my Mulcher, but still has the middle barricade, and thankfully it's only a partial hit. The enemy sets up coverage and ends their turn. So, I attack the grub in the open with my Lancer, and down him, also disabling coverage. Now that my Mulcher is free of that, I can use him to attack the grub on the left. The hit percentage is low, but the coverage he's in can be destroyed, so naturally he gets staggered. From there, it's a guaranteed down. With the guy in the back being the only one left, I set up coverage and then felt comfortable grabbing the chest with my Gnasher unit. Take some shots, then grab another chest. The grub survives. I guess I have settled on grub. I don't know if that's correct. The grub survives. With 2 grubs still down on the field, it's time to do some executions. So I do just that. I then get really lucky with my last shot and clear the battlefield. Enemies won't come until a unit has gone into the objective, so try and get everybody set up before that. I don't know if that's true. In my experience, that's the case. After a couple of failed attempts, I think it's best to put the Retro unit up in the guard tower. He'll run through the objective to get there, but at this point I've got all units close, so it's okay. Lancer is most effective on the left side to cover the Retro's open side on the guard tower. Mulcher can go to the right or left middle, but be ready to switch sides if the enemies switch directions. He kind of works as a bottleneck here if things get too bad. Next, the Gnasher unit goes on the far right with coverage pointing forward. I like having these 2 on the right because they're about to get hit with 8 wretches. And if you'll look to the left, ladies and gentlemen, you'll see an emergence hole opening. I set up both the Mulcher and the Gnasher to fight off the wretches because I want to save the Gnasher's grenade for the time being. The 2 Lancers have the best accuracy, so I train them on the hole, which turned out to be a really good idea. As the emergence hole opens, the grubs trigger the coverage, and 2 of them are killed immediately. The last one has barely any health left. Next turn, first thing I do is send a frag down the emergence hole. This makes things so much easier, as no more grubs will be coming out of it. Wretches too.
Frag going out.
I try to use the retro to get the wretch off my mulcher, but there's a chance that I'll hit my own unit. So I have the mulcher deal with his own problem, and watch this shit. Then after that, I have to reload and have 1 AP left. Thankfully, he put his glasses on and was able to take out the wretch with his last action point. I reload my Nasher unit and have much more success of disposing of her wretch. Then for the one in the back with my Lancer. I'm only able to take out one of the 2 wretches with my Retro Lancer, but thankfully, the other one isn't going anywhere with that coverage. Well, he tries, but gets shot. At this point in the level, troops get dropped behind you. The wretches approach in an imposing group, but hey, you remember that frag grenade that I was holding on to? This is why. With them taken care of, I decide to say fuck it and let this guy shoot my unit, but soon after he is shot and downed, so it's whatever. I execute him with my Lancer unit and decide to go for the chest as well. I accidentally left him out of cover, which thankfully didn't mess me up this time, but is generally a very, very bad idea. After this last wretch is taken care of, I can turn around and focus on covering my flank. I move my Retro unit to the other side and set up coverage. I then bring my Mulcher and Nasher units and set them up similarly. But of course, taking out the last wretch first with a snub pistol, the enemy sets up an extremely defensive coverage and ends their turn. Seriously, they aren't even on my units. I throw a stim grenade with my Lancer and can actually squeeze it in to heal 2 units, which is cool. My Retro Lancer is pretty far back, so I do what I can with the snub pistol for now, which doesn't turn out to be too much. With my Mulcher, I'm able to get a partial hit, but don't want to risk any more ammo, so I set up coverage. I then reload and do the same with my Nasher. The enemy triggers both, but only one is hit. They take some shots and set up coverage that actually has some units in them. There is a convenient group of enemies, so I send them a frag grenade, with love, of course. Apparently they don't love it, as I get shot and I'm almost downed in the process. It's really not looking good, but thankfully I have enough action points to move him into cover and into safety. I'm not sure what to do with my Nasher, so I tell this guy not to move. Up on the top, it's more of the same with the snub pistol, but this time I actually down one grub and kill another. As the enemy triggers my coverage, their health is brought to just a sliver, and then it's easy to kill him and execute the 2 downed enemies left. And there you have it. All units survived, none were down, though it was a close shave there for a second. If everything was done correctly, the achievement should pop after the cutscene. I like this game a lot and plan on making more videos, so keep your eye out. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a good night. Or day. It really depends. Whatever it is, you know.